Hi guys, and welcome back to another realistic rebuild on the channel. Haven't done one of these for a little while, so pretty excited to do this one, considering it probably is one of the more exciting teams, I think, in need of a realistic rebuild. Because, well, I'm sure as everyone knows, this could be Tom Brady's last year. He might stay on for next year, but considering he's 41 in the game, he might retire. And then we'll have to look at getting another quarterback in, which will be a big thing for the team. And we'll also need to get some receivers in as well. Julian Edelman, although he is very good, he will start to regress pretty soon, or he'll regress massively in this off-season. Chris Hogan, very good player, but once again, he's aging pretty much. Philip Dorsett's probably the only guy that's going to stay on the team in the receiver core, and potentially Cordell Patterson. We'll have to see what we're going to do with these two guys. James White and Sony Michel, great little running back tandem that we're going to definitely, or hopefully the team will utilise. O-line, phenomenal. Very young O-line. A lot of good players in there. I think they are one of the best O-lines in the league. And they don't actually have a player who was drafted in the above the third round, I think, or some crazy stat like that. So they just built the O-line up, literally from the ground up, with players who aren't high picks, which is one of the reasons that the team is so good. Offensively, obviously very good. Defensively is where we could use some upgrades. I think we'll probably switch to a 4-3 at the end of the year. We'll just let the Super Bowl play out in the system that they are using this year. But I think going to a 4-3 at the end of the year utilises the talent we have the most. Lawrence Guy, definitely one of the starting defensive tackles. And then Danny Shelton or Malcolm Brown, at 24 years old. These two guys are definitely young up-and-comers for the team. So we have a lot of potential along the line. Cornerback-wise, obviously, Stephon Gilmore is going to be a staple for us. Star development and 92 overall. He's a great corner, 94 man with 91 speed. He's going to be the #1 corner for the entirety of this. Jason McCourty and Devin McCourty, probably both going to be moved on at some point. Although I will try and keep them around for as long as possible, just because they're both, you know, athletic freaks, I think would be the best way to describe it. Devin McCourty is so fast. I think he's one of, if not the fastest guy in the NFL statistically. We'll try and keep him around for another year. But this team does have a lot of age on it. So I can imagine in 2 to 3 years, it's going to be a difficult one to try and get them at least to another Super Bowl, let alone winning one. There's just a lot to do with this team, so I think it'll be an exciting one. If you do enjoy the video, drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, we'll just jump straight into the Super Bowl. We're going to play the moments. We won't actually play any of the moments, but it looks like on paper, or according to Madden, you'd think the Rams would win. But we'll go into the Patriots, and I'll see you guys in there. So jumping into the game, I'm just going to skip every single moment. Hopefully the Patriots come out on top, because we'll get a nice little experience point boost if they do. But it is a very close game so far. Unfortunately, the Rams are 7-0 up, so it's not looking promising for us. And they are 10-0 up going into the half by the looks of it. They might even make it a bigger lead, and they do. 17-0. We have nothing going offensively. 17-7 though. I'm really crossing our fingers that we get something going here. I would love the XP boost, but unfortunately, looks like the Rams are going to win this one quite convincingly. We're going to go for it on 4th down. We're going to make it. I mean, this has become a pretty intense game. Can we get anything going? This is very close. They unfortunately cannot win the Super Bowl. The Rams do win by a score. I can imagine it being a low-scoring game this weekend, so could be exactly what happens. But I mean, you never know. We don't get the experience of winning the Super Bowl, unfortunately. Tom Brady did not throw a single touchdown, and Jared Goff had a terrible game. That was really a defensive, stalwart game. But now we'll go into the off-season. We'll go into the draft, and then we will get things running. So going into the off-season, there are a few guys I do want to re-sign. I definitely want to bring Trey Flowers back. I think in real life, they're definitely not going to bring him back. And I think quite a few teams are going to have to pay a lot of money to get him to go to them. But we'll offer him a 5-year deal just because he's a great player with that quick dev. He'll be a staple for us in our offensive line. I think we could play him in maybe a 4-3 or a 3-4. So either way, he'll definitely work out for us. Jason McCourty, I think a 1-year deal when he's still 81 overall. Definitely worth doing, considering the cap space we have. Okay, he's going to go straight to free agency, and we're not going to tag him because he is not worth that amount. Trent Brown, definitely someone we want to bring back. And we'll offer him just a little bit less there. Hopefully he takes that deal. If not, he's going to test out free agency. Okay, we're going to tag him this year just because he is a very good left tackle and someone I want to keep around. Danny Shelton, I mean, Jonathan Jones we're definitely going to try and keep as well. Great number 3 corner for us. Or potentially number 2, considering that Jason McCourty doesn't want to re-sign with us. He will re-sign with us. That is good to see. Jonathan Jones will get him in. Philip Dorsett, we also want to get in. The Patriots, I didn't actually realise they had so many guys they needed to re-sign. So that would definitely add a difficulty element to this, because managing the cap space is going to be a bit difficult with all these players looking for money. Especially when Malcolm Brown wants so much of a signing bonus. And we'll have to lowball that a bit. He is good though. And he will keep it. And he will stay, which is good. John Simon, I think we're going to have to let go. Eric Rowe, since Jason McCourty's not coming back, we'll re-sign him. He's going to be a good addition, not an addition, a good keep for the team. And our cap space is just going down and down and down. Cordero Patterson, I think we're going to let him go just because he's 28. He's a bit old. Ryan Allen, we can pick up a punter in free agency. Danny Shelton, we do want to get back. I didn't realise I skipped over him. We'll have to get him back. But I think that might be the last re-signing we are going to do in this free agency period. Unless there was anyone else I missed. Chris Hogan, we're going to let go because he's down to a 76. So receivers definitely a need. Gostkowski will bring back for 1 year just because we have the cap space this year. And he's not going to re-sign actually. So we'll just get a kicker in free agency. So let's go through free agency. See who's available. And hopefully there'll be some guys that we can re-sign. So we have 32 million. A reasonable amount considering the team is very good. Marvin Jones is getting no offers. So we might go in on a low ball offer for him actually. He'll be a good addition to the team. Josh Gordon. I mean, I don't think he will play in the NFL again. He might. You never know. But signing him would definitely be worthwhile because he is a very good player. But we'll leave that one for now. Just because I don't think the Patriots are going to have another shot with him. Besides that, Robbie Anderson might be a nice pickup. Actually, he would be a nice pickup. So I think we'll go for Robbie Anderson. And that might be it. I'll jump through to the end of free agency and you can see we've re-signed. So in free agency, there are a few guys who didn't get offers. I think Suggs may be someone that we look to sign next year. Tom Brady actually didn't retire, so we don't need to get a quarterback. But the signings, we only got 2 guys, Jake Elliott and Jordan Perry, just because some of the guys we did want got ridiculous offers. Like Golden Tate I looked at, 121 points. Whereas Robbie Anderson, 121 points from the Dolphins. You just can't compete with the Dolphins in the first set of free agency. It's ridiculous. Who else did we want? We wanted Devin Funches. I looked at getting. He went to the Jets for 100 points, which is way over what he's worth. So, Marquise Lee, pretty much 100 points. He would have been a second choice, and I just didn't want to overpay him that much. So we're going to look to pick up a receiver in free agency. I mean, even Roger Salford got a ridiculous offer. It's just free agency doesn't really work that well in the first year, but hopefully next year we'll be able to pick up some players there. So I'll go through the draft. I have done a realistic style draft, so we have the actual college prospects. We're going to have pick 31. I don't think we have too many picks in this draft, if I remember right. We have 2 second rounds actually, but we're missing a 5th and a 6th. So that should be quite good. There's no combines or anything, so it's just going to be off the knowledge that I have, which isn't very much. So I'll jump through to the end of the draft, we'll do a recap, and then we'll get on with the next few years of the team. So I think we had a fairly decent draft. We did get rid of our last 2 picks. We traded them for 6th rounds next year, just because there wasn't anything on the board that I thought we needed, and it was okay value. We got Dalton Risner in the 1st round. He's going to be our starting right tackle. He's got quick development. He looks really good, to be honest. He just got a bit low on the run block power, but everything else is fantastic. And then we picked up 2 receivers in the 2nd round in Marquise Brown and Ja'Kai Polite. Marquise Brown, actually no, Ja'Kai Polite, sorry, the outside backer, and then we picked up Paris Campbell in the 3rd as our 2 receivers. Marquise Brown looks unbelievable. He's actually got superstar development with 96 speed, and then Paris Campbell with 94 speed has got star dev, and then we've got Jaquan Johnson, who was a terrible pick, but these 2 guys both look phenomenal. They're both going to be absolute weapons for Tom Brady. Our team is looking good. We definitely addressed areas which we need to. Very lucky Tom Brady didn't retire. He looked like he regressed massively though, which is, you know, minus 14 regression. He's still going to be good. I mean, his ratings are still probably phenomenal. Probably, you know, second in the league, even with a 7-point regression. But receiver-wise, we're going to move Marquise Brown up. We're going to move Paris Campbell up. And these will be our 3 receivers in there. I'm not sure who's going to play the... I mean, Julian Edelman will probably play the slot. Yeah, he will. And then... Okay, the team's looking nice. I'm pretty happy with how we'll go. We'll jump into next season. I might do a few little changes around. But I'm hoping we can make the playoffs this year. Fingers crossed we can. The team looks good. Get Risner in for Cannon. I might put Cannon on the trade block just because we don't need him. And then we can go from there, I guess. Team's looking nice. If I get an offer for Cannon, I'll jump through to that. Actually, I said I'll switch to a 4-3, which we will do. But also in the comments, guys, let me know how you would have done this team differently. But yeah, let's go through to the midway point of the season and see how the team's doing. So going through to the mid-season point, we are 4-3. Team looks like it's doing pretty well. We are top of the division, but we are obviously in quite a weak division, so I can imagine we'll win the division a few times. When it comes to the playoffs, might struggle a little bit. Team, a lot of upgrade points on a lot of defenders. I did actually trade Cannon for Noah Spence, just because the Bucks said they needed a right tackle or a right guard. So it was a nice, easy one-for-one trade for that. It seemed like a good trade considering both teams got what they needed and Claiborne is on his way out. Offensively, Marquise Brown has 5 points and Paris Campbell has 2. That's ridiculous. As you can see, we are 4-3. We do have some players to re-sign. Obviously, we want to bring Gronk back. We will offer Gronk a good deal, even though he is 30. That cap room we have 102 cap room. Tom Brady on a 1 year. I think I might lowball him and then tag him, actually. Just because that will be way lower than this amount. I mean, if he takes this, fair enough. But if not, we'll lowball him and we'll tag him. Noah Spence was a contract year, which is why he was so cheap and easy to bring in. We'll get him back. I can imagine he'll be quite good. He's only got normal development, which is a bit disappointing. But he is still, he's a scheme fit for what we need, which is perfect. Joe Tooney, we definitely want to bring him back. Fantastic guard for us. But he wants more money, so we'll definitely get on that. Trent Brown, I know we did tag him last year. So we'll offer him that deal, and he'll take it, which is good. Kyle Van Noy. Over 4 years, that is a lot of money. I mean, I don't know if we have the cap room. He is a decent player. He's sort of a jack of all trades, but not great at anything. But it's only 4 mil a year. And he does have quick dev, so he could go up a little bit. We'll bring him back if he'll take that. He won't take that, so we'll have to let him go, I think. And then the other guys, I don't think anyone else in there we need. Devin McCourty, I don't want to give him a 2-year, so we won't do that. Julian Edelman we'll have to let go because he's already down to an 83. Next year he'll be down sort of mid-70s. Yeah, towards the end of the year we'll definitely look to re-sign a few of those guys. Team's doing pretty well. We'll upgrade the players and then we'll go to the end of the season. So guys, simming through to the playoffs, it looks like we did make it and we got a first round bye at 12-4. That's a phenomenal season. I can imagine a lot of the team did pretty well and we'll have a few upgrades in there. But before we look at them, we'll have a quick look at the stats and see how the team did there. Tom Brady, as you would expect, phenomenal year. 37 touchdowns to only 9 picks. 4,000, well, nearly 4,500 yards through the air. Great year from him. Rushing, James White and Sony Michel both did okay. Neither did fantastic. But I mean, with that many yards through the air, you wouldn't expect either of them to do that well. Gronk had a great year. Marquise Brown with nearly 1,000 yards, and Julian Edelman with 900 yards and 15 touchdowns. It looks like he wants to be re-signed. It doesn't look like he even made a Pro Bowl with those numbers. That is phenomenal how he did. There must have been a lot of other guys in the reception list who did that well. We'll have to have a look. And that's just the Vikings. See, because those messages are coming in, which is a bit annoying. So Michael Crabtree did very well. Mike Williams did very well. You would still expect Julian Edelman to make the Pro Bowl in there, to be honest. But there are quite a few guys who had very good years. Keenan Allen did very well. Jarvis Landry did well. Mike Evans did well. So he did have a bit of competition, but that does still look like a Pro Bowl year. And we'll quickly look at defence as well while we are here. Blocking wise, I can't imagine we gave up too many. Hardly any sacks given up. Defensively, looks like Hightower had a great year in there. 7.5 sacks for him and Van Noy. Jawan Bentley had 4.5. Not many from our D-line, which is a bit unfortunate. Picks, 2 for Deron Harmon, Eric Rowe and Stephon Gilmore, and 1 for Hightower, McCourty, Roberts, Jonathan Jones and Patrick Chung. Quite a lot of forced fumbles it looks like. 1 for Hightower, McCourty and Chung. We've got a safety in there from Hightower again. He was all over the place this year it looks like, but we did okay there. So offensively we were 12th in the league and defensively 14th. So that is a good season. Not what you'd expect. You'd expect them to be a little bit higher, the Patriots, but they still did very well. Tom Brady 4 and MVP. We get 2nd in Coach of the Year. Bit disappointing we didn't get 1st. Lamar Jackson ends up winning Offensive Player of the Year with Tom Brady in at number 3 in there. Defensive Player of the Year, Jawan Bentley is higher than Hightower. You'd expect Hightower to be higher than 8th. But CJ Mosley didn't end up winning. Offensive Rookie of the Year is, unfortunately, Damian Harris with Marquise Brown in there at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Mack Wilson. So none of our guys won any awards by the looks of it. Which, considering you're 12 and 4, is very, very surprising. But we'll look at the XP, see what we got, and then see who we're going to get in the divisional game. So experience points, 2 for Paris Campbell, 4 for Marquise Brown, and then 1 for all of our O-line. And then defensively, 1 for Trey Flowers and Jones. Carvine Noy and Jawan Bentley also got 1 apiece as well. So not tons of upgrade points, but we'll upgrade the players and then we'll go to the playoff divisional game. So we've got the divisional game against the Texans. It's going to be a tough one. They are 11 and 5, so it's going to play the moments. We're not going to play any of it. We're just going to sim through it until the final year. We're an 84 to their 83. Hopefully we can pull out on top. So going against the Texans here, I forgot how good a team they actually had. They have a phenomenal team, and it looks like we are struggling already. We're down 7-0 in the first quarter, but we do tie it up 7 apiece. Hopefully our defense can make us stop. Looks like they can't, and it looks like the Texans are going to get some points on the board. They get a touchdown, which is a bit unfortunate, taking them to a 14-7 lead. But we are driving down the field. Hopefully we can pick something up. It looks like we will be able to, and we make it 14 apiece. And Tom Brady, once he gets to the playoffs, he really turns it on, and hopefully he'll turn it on for us. And he does just that, making it 21-14. We have the ball back again, 28-14. It looks like we should go on and win this one. We're in the red zone again, and it looks like a convincing win for our boys, 35-14. Absolutely great win there, taking us through to the next round of the playoffs. Tom Brady, a 4-touchdown game. I mean, that's pretty much what you would expect from Tom Brady in the playoffs. 4 touchdowns, no picks, 31 for 41. He had a much better game than Deshaun Watson there. Rushing, James White did well, getting a touchdown to his name. Receiving, Gronkowski, obviously one of the main threats, gets over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marquise Brown with his first playoff touchdown, and Jacob Hollister coming in with a 1-yard reception. Fair play to him for getting on the board. Dante Hightower with 1.5 sacks, Carvine Noy with 1 as well. And our only pick goes to Patrick Chung. And Jonathan Jones led the team in tackles, which is a bit surprising. We'll go through to next week and see what team we get. So we're through to the conference championship against the Chargers. Not going to muck around with this one whatsoever. We're just going to jump straight into it. The Chargers are a phenomenal sim team. But it is 84 to 84. So our chances of getting to the Super Bowl again are still pretty high. Let's jump in and hopefully we can get the win. So going in against the Chargers. Obviously they have a great sim team. And they're already proving that by going up 3-0. But hopefully we can get a little bit of a comeback going. Because it looks like they're going to score again. And they only get a field goal. But it looks like we're just turning over the ball left and right here. We're not getting anything going on offense. We've got another 3rd down. We're going to take the field goal, making it 13-3. But the Chargers come straight back down the field. It's probably game over at this point. Unless we can get a touchdown here. Luckily we do, so it's 23-10. But our defense just can't get a stop. And our offense can't get going either. So looks like the Chargers are going to knock us out. Potentially not though. Is there a comeback on the cards? 24-31. Looks like there might be, but they do convert. And that ends the game. Unfortunately for us, 31-24. We did bottle it in the first half. We didn't score enough in the first half. We tried to come back, but that's probably going to be Tom Brady's final year. Unfortunately, he doesn't make it to another Super Bowl, and the team goes out in the conference round. I'm guessing he didn't have that strong a game, by the way the first half went. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in for the Chargers as well. But Phillip Rivers, they pretty much had very similar games. Completion percentage wise, Rivers was better. Rushing, Melvin Gordon was better than James White, which would be expected. Gronk had a great day, so did Marquise Brown and Keenan Allen. Unfortunately, we just couldn't pull through there. Defensively, 2 sacks for Flowers. Hightower and Van Noy also got on the sheet there. McCourty also had a pick. That's unfortunate, to be honest, that we just couldn't pull that one. But we're going to go into the off-season. Hopefully we can pick up a few things there and make us a Super Bowl contender for next year. So it is a Rams-Chargers Super Bowl. Before we go into the off-season, let's see who wins that. I'm guessing it's going to be, as expected, the Rams. The 2 most overpowered sim teams in there. Both come up, or both get to the Super Bowl, and the Rams come up with a win. So Joe Tooney, I think he wanted a bit more money. We'll give him a bit more money. And we're going to be able to, because we're going to have a rookie QB on a rookie contract, so we'll be able to afford that. Devin McCourty on a 1 year for that. I mean, I don't think we'll be able to get a free safety in who's that caliber. But he is going to want to go to another team. We're not going to tag him for 11 mil. Carl Van Noy is up to star dev. I think if we give him a 3 year for that amount of money, he should take it. He's going to go to free agency. I don't want to tag him for that much because that is a ridiculous amount of money. We might look to pick him up again in free agency if we don't have to pay above and beyond. Julian Edelman did have a good year. He is down to an 81 though. But I mean, he will be our slot guy for both years. He's not the fastest, but I can imagine he'll stay pretty good for those 2 years. So we'll offer him that. If he takes it, he will. If not, people just don't want to stay. I mean, we make it to the AFC Championship and they don't want to stay. So we'll go to next year. I'm guessing they're fearing that without Tom Brady, the team won't be able to compete. Let's see who's in free agency and see if we can pick anyone up. Chris Jones would be a nice addition, and we do have the money to throw around. But we do have Trey Flowers in that position already, so probably not needed. Derrick Henry, probably not. Zadarius Smith, we already have Hightower. Although we could move him over to left outside linebacker. I'll keep that in mind. Darrell Williams we don't need. So there are a few guys that we could potentially sign up. I'll go through, and then at the end of free agency I'll do a little roundup just before the draft. So going into our free agency roundup, some guys we did want that we did get turned down for actually. We did want Chris Jones, but the Bills offered him a lot of money. Same with Darius Smith, but the Colts offered him a lot of money. So we got Julian Edelman, Vernon Hargreaves, who we've moved to free safety, and Nick Kwiatkowski, who we're going to move to left outside linebacker. He'll probably go up to around an 82, which is, he'll be on a lot cheaper deal than Kyle Van Noy was. He's younger, so I think it's definitely worthwhile. And then we got Julian Edelman back because, I mean, he's a Patriot. We had to get him back pretty much. So we'll just quickly move Kwiatkowski to the outside. I mean, Polite wouldn't be too bad a guy to have there. but I think Kwiatkowski is definitely a better option for us. So we'll move him to left outside backer. And in the draft, obviously, QB is a big need. So we might trade up if there's a decent one available. He goes to an 81 at outside backer, which is good. Besides that, strong safety's a need. And I think that's pretty much it. QB, strong safety are the two big needs. A middle backer would be definitely something we could use. And then maybe a defensive tackle. So let's go into the draft. We're obviously going to be drafting pretty low, probably 29 or 30. We are pick 30, so it might be worth trading up. I mean, we'll have a quick look at who's available, because I haven't even seen through this yet. This guy looks very good. God, he looks like an absolute monster. Scott O'Dwyer. But then so does Evan Kopp. There are a few guys we could get. So I'll go through to the end of the draft and you guys can see who we drafted there. So going through our draft recap here, we did have quite a good draft, to be honest. We managed to get Scott O'Dwyer at our original pick anyway. He's quick dev, 77 overall. He's a scrambler, so we're going to change to a spread offense. His accuracy isn't the best, but he does have 88 speed, which is unbelievable, and 89 break sack. So he's literally the polar opposite of what Tom Brady brings. This guy looks decent for a 7th round pick, actually. He's very, very slow for a corner. But anyway, we got Ross White as our 2nd round pick. Quick dev, middle linebacker. I might move him to one of the outside backer positions just because he's only 78 speed and he's very, very good in pass coverage. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. We got Blake Rich as well. We just got a kicker just because I knew he's going to be a good overall. And then Cornelius Rudd as well. Not the best draft. We did get 2 positions we didn't really need. Looking at the team, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with the linebackers. I know pass coverage. I might move Hightower inside and then move White outside, actually. Let's just have a quick look at what their overalls would be. Just because it gets White as a scheme fit. And that will obviously get him a lot more experience, which makes a huge difference. Considering he's only quick dev, getting his experience up would be huge. He goes up to a 77. Hightower can play at any linebacker position, so I don't think he'll drop too much if we move him inside. He was great last year, so hopefully he can keep that up for us coming into next year. But as a middle backer, I think we'll do it that way around. And I'm pretty happy with how the team looks. Obviously getting in Chris Jones would have been good for our right hand side. But I mean, we've got Trey Flowers as our elite D lineman. Malcolm Brown, I think we're going to move up and move Lawrence Guy down. So I have these 2 guys in the middle. Pretty happy with where the team is, to be honest. Harmon. Deron Harmon. I don't remember getting him in. He must have just be a higher overall than Patrick Chung now. Patrick Chung really has regressed quite rapidly, though, to be honest. Yeah, the team's looking pretty good. It's obviously not as good as when we started the rebuild because Tom Brady retiring and the regression. So we'll go to spread. It should be good for our QB. Hopefully it works out. But we'll go through to next season and I'll see you guys at the mid-season mark. Hopefully we're doing pretty well. So going in at the mid-season mark, once again, we are 4-3. Joint top of the division with the Jets. We did just lose to the Dolphins, which is a bit unfortunate. It would have made us 5-2. But I can imagine the team's doing fairly well. Hopefully our new quarterback, Scott O'Dwyer, is doing alright. He's got an upgrade point, so we'll just use that now. I think we'll just use it in Scrambler just because that's his scheme. It's a decent little upgrade for him in there. He's only quick dev. Marquise Brown with 2. Paris Campbell with 1. And on defense, 1s for a few of the guys, which is good to see. But re-signings, we have at least James White, which is probably going to be quite an expensive one. Over 4 years, he wants 30 mil, which is a lot. David Andrews, we definitely want to bring back, so we'll offer him that money. Since we have a QB on a rookie deal, getting the rest of these players in is going to be fairly easy for the rest of the rebuild, I think. Hightower doesn't want too much money, to be honest, so we'll definitely give him that. That's hardly anything, considering the way he's playing. Lawrence Guy, we're going to let go. I don't think it's worth bringing him in. Deron Harmon, we're going to let go. JC Jackson, we'll bring him back, because he could be the guy who we play or move to safety at the end of the year. and he will take the offer, which is good to see. Patrick Chung we're going to let go. So yeah, we'll have no safeties, so we'll have to move Jackson to the safety spot, which I think will be worthwhile. Edelman, once again, I don't think it's worth signing him just because he's going to regress so much. And James White, obviously we have the money for him just because we don't need to re-sign anyone else. So we'll offer him 4 years and he'll take the deal. So that's all our guys re-signs. Pretty happy with where the team's at. I can imagine we're going to get close to the playoffs. We'll upgrade the players quickly. And then, yeah, we'll just go through to the playoffs. Hopefully we get there. If we get beaten by the Jets, I'm going to be quite disappointed if I'm being honest. So fingers crossed we make it. I want another playoff run and I want to get to the Super Bowl. So we simmed through to the playoffs and we are in through the wild card. The Bills went 9-7 and we did lose out to them due to divisional record, I'm guessing. A wild card against the Jags is going to be a tough one just because they're so good in the sim. But we'll look at the team stats. Scott O'Dwyer had a year. What a year that is. 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns to 14 picks. That's potentially MVP caliber because he led the league in both stats there. James White with a great year as well. Sonny Michel doing decently. 12 touchdowns between them's not too bad. Receiving wise, Marquise Brown with an unbelievable year. Nearly 100 catches, 13 touchdowns. Gronk with nearly 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Edelman with another great year. Paris Campbell didn't do as much as I would hope he would. I think we'll move him into the slot next year. But he's still got, you know, over 500 yards, which is fairly good. Blocking, I'm guessing we didn't give up too many sacks considering the amount of throw. Yep, not too many. I mean, Trent Brown 14's not the best, but still very good. And then sacks-wise, 9 for Hightower from middle linebacker. Ross White with 5 and Trey Flowers with 5. Not too many sacks, but a fair few picks to Ron Harmon. Trying to play for his place on the team with 3 there, but I still think we're going to let him go. And Ross White with 129 tackles. Defensive Player of the Year, hopefully, is on the cards for him. I can imagine we got a few awards. Offensively, we were 4th in the league, and then defensively 17th. So not the best. But looking at that, Scott O'Dwyer comes in 3rd in MVP behind Zeke. I'm guessing Zeke had a very good year. Matt Ryan's also in contention there. But we're the only rookie on that list. Coach of the Year, we don't even get a sniff. Bit unfortunate. We're 2nd on Offensive Player of the Year to Le'Veon Bell. That's very hard to take there. And then Myles Garrett coming in 1st, with Ross White also coming in on that list. So Offensive Rookie, obviously Scott O'Dwyer in there, and Defensive Rookie is Ross White. So both of our rookies pick up awards on that, which is fantastic. Don't think we'll have anyone else on these lists. We won't. Best wide receiver, Marquise Brown number 2. Offensive line, Shaq Mason in there, Andrews in there, and Joe Tooney in there. Defensive line, I didn't think we'd have anyone. Best linebacker, we do have Dante Hightower, which is good to see. Best DB, no one on there. And best kicker, Blake Rich at number 7. So we should have a fair few upgrade points to use. We should beat the Jags considering how good our rookies have been. 7 points for Scott O'Dwyer. Did not expect that. He's gone up to Star Dev as well. He got QB of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year, up to Star Dev and a Pro Bowl appearance. That explains all of the upgrades. We'll definitely upgrade him. Marquise Brown with 8 as well. He'll go up to one of the best receivers in the league. And then defensively, we got Ross White with 5. So we'll upgrade these guys and then we'll jump into the game against the Jags. But that is a phenomenal rookie class. Absolutely buzzing about that. Let's hope we can beat the Jags. So going up against the Rams, looks like we go straight down the field pretty much instantly and get a touchdown with... I mean, this is actually our new QB's first playoff game. Unfortunately, it's 7 apiece. We are through or down to the red zone. We'll take the field goal and go up 10-7 though. But going against the Jags, you pretty much need to score on every possession because their offense is so efficient with Blake Bortles in it for some reason. But looks like we got a pick or something there and we're going to take the 16-10 lead. The Jags are going to try and come back and score on us, and they do make it 17-16, and they're going to go up. Oh, we're throwing it away. It's 20-16. Hopefully we can get something going. Looks like our offense may be able to pull something out the bag, and they do make it 23-20. It's a very back and forth game. 27-23. We've gone down the field. We make it 30-27. They have 51 seconds left. Can we make it happen? We can. We win 30-27. That was a very close game against a very good Jags team. Blake Bortles there, absolutely livid. But we do manage to beat them, which is exactly what we wanted. And Scott O'Dwyer has a fairly decent game. Not the best game in the world. Blake Bortles, I'd say it was a very even game between them, to be honest. Scott O'Dwyer, completion percentage was better. 2 touchdowns, 2-1 for Blake Bortles and 2-0 for our guy. 1 touchdown from James White in there. Edelman had a great game. Marquise Brown had 2 touchdowns in there, which you would expect because he's actually up to a 98 overall now. Kwiatkowski with a sack, Flowers and Hightower with a sack, as you would expect, and it was Stephon Gilmore with the interception. I think that was his first one of the year. But let's go through to next week. Hopefully we don't play against someone who is a sim god like the Jags. They normally absolutely dominate teams. Them going 8-8 is very surprising, to be honest, because they normally do a lot better. And Scott O'Dwyer has another upgrade point. I'm going to go West Coast just because his play action is so low. That's his one weakness. So I'll actually let you have a quick look at his stats now. And he doesn't get a play action, but he does get an awareness, which I hope will help. But his stats, throwing wise, accuracy, he's very good now. His throw power is a little bit low. But since he is a scrambling QB, I'd love to get this guy in my Bengals rebuild, which I'm doing. Someone like that. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. It's a really fun series. But yeah, let's go on to the Divisional Championship. See who we end up getting. I can imagine it's probably going to be the Texans or someone like that. It's actually the Steelers. So that is... I mean, this is normally the AFC Championship game. But the Divisional one here against the Steelers. This is a rivalry. So I think we move Paris Campbell up to number 2. And I think we'll put him in the slot. Just for this game. Hopefully it does make a difference. We've got a 91 overall offense now as well, with an 83 defense. As you can see, Marquise Brown, with confidence, is up to a 98. He is ridiculous. He's rapid. He catches everything that's thrown his way. His jumping is a little bit low, but you're not going to be able to catch him deep. You're not going to be able to do anything against him deep. Let's go against the Steelers here. The 9-6-1 Steelers to our 9-7. Very evenly matched, but since we're lower overall by 1, you'd expect in the sim that we get a nice, easy win. So let's go into the game against the Steelers. Going to be a big game, this one. Hopefully we can get something going and our defence can stop the Steelers. They do there, keep them to 3 points, which is good to see. And we get a touchdown in return. But it looks like the Steelers are going to pay us back straight away with a touchdown. But we're driving down the field very fast when we get the ball. And we are containing the Steelers 2 field goals, which is okay. So we're 17-13 going into the half. They actually don't get a score, which is good to see. But they are going to score early in the third, making it 17-27. We turn the ball over straight away, which was a terrible thing to happen. We're going to have to take the field goal as well in the red zone, which is not good. But we do get back to the red zone, making it a 27 apiece game. It's the end of the game. Can we get down the field? Looks like we can. We're in the red zone. Third down. We get the field goal, but they have a minute to get down the field. It's a very close one again. Same as the Jags. And once again, the same score, 30-27. We win by a field goal, which was pretty much nearly the end of the game field goal. That's ridiculous. What are the odds of that happening 2 weeks in a row? Our rookie kicker has come up big. Something I wouldn't actually rely on Jake Elliott with. So I am glad we decided not to keep him on. Scott O'Dwyer, as expected, phenomenal game. Actually, not that good a game. He threw 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, and Ben Roethlisberger also 1 touchdown and a pick. So QB's not that reliable today. Le'Veon Bell obviously did very well, as did James White. Receiving, Paris Campbell led the team, so moving him up obviously made that difference. Marquise Brown was very good. But our touchdowns came from James White and James Devlin on a reception. Very strange you wouldn't accept James Devlin to get in there. And our picks were from Ross White, who's up to 88 zone, so that's expected. And Stephon Gilmore has turned up in the playoffs. So through to the AFC Conference in our first full year. Hopefully we can get through. Let's see who we're playing. I can imagine if we fall at this hurdle again, it's going to be very disappointing, because I want to get through to another Super Bowl. So going into the AFC Conference Championship, are we going to be against the Texans? The Chargers again. A few final upgrades. It's not really important. I mean, it could come in important, you never know. But going against the Chargers, once again, just how good they are in Sim is ridiculous. The Patriots never normally get this far, but the Chargers, 87 to our 85. Bit nervous about this one. This is the first time I thought we could potentially lose. So let's jump into the game. Hopefully we don't. So going in against the Chargers here, we're going down the field instantly in this one, but they do keep us to a field goal. And we do actually get them to turn the ball over. Or punt the ball, I think they did there. So are we going to get it in? We're not. We are going to go for it. We went for it on 4th down there. Unbelievably ballsy from the Patriots team there. And it's 13. Well, it was 13 to nothing. They score instantly, making it 13 to 7. And our defense cannot fully stop them. We do keep them to a field goal though. And we're down in the red zone. We just need a 2-possession lead at this point. Very back and forth, 20 to 17. Are we going to keep them out? We can't. 20 to 24. We need a touchdown. We go for it on 4th down again. 4th down at the 7. We get it. 27 to 24, but they do still have time again. Nerve-wracking. They're going for it on 4th with 40 seconds, and they don't get it. And we end up winning in the final seconds again here. I think that was a 3-point win. It was 27 to 24. My God, we are getting... These games are close. Jesus, that was a very close one. Anyway, 2 touchdowns, no picks for Scott O'Dwyer. He has had a phenomenal rookie season. He's got to the Super Bowl in his rookie season. I mean, he's on the Patriots, so it's not the most unheard of thing in the world. But a lot of our players did very well that game. Gronk did great, Paris Campbell did great, and Marquise Brown did great. Looks like moving Paris Campbell and swapping him with Edelman made a huge difference. Defensively, 3 sacks for Trey Flowers. My God, did he show up. Dante Hightower also been so good for us. 1.5 sacks in there. Noah Spence and Malcolm Brown also with a sack each. And a pick from Ross White. He's been fantastic as well. So we're through to the Super Bowl. I'm guessing we're going to be against the Rams. It would be expected, the way the sim works, that we would be against the Rams. But sometimes you do never know. But I'm absolutely buzzing we got through to the Super Bowl. Can we win it? I think if we win it, we'll only do 1 or 2 more years. Just because we've pretty much hit our peak at that point. We've lost out on 1 Super Bowl. Obviously the first year, which probably doesn't count. And then we're going against the Falcons. Oh, this is their chance at revenge. The 12-4 Falcons. I mean, no matter what the scoreline is, we know that at any point in the game, we could pull it back. So this is what the team looks like going into the Super Bowl. It's a fantastic team already. But let's play the moments. They are going to be 87 to our 85. It's probably going to be another close one. Let's hope it doesn't go to overtime. Pretty nervous, but let's go through and hopefully we can win the Super Bowl in our first full... No, it's not our first full year. It's our 2nd year, actually. So going in against the Falcons. Let's go through this game. Hopefully we can stop them on offense, which is going to be the hardest bit. 3rd down. We're going to go for the field goal there. We don't get it. Are we going to get this one? We don't. We go for a field goal, another long field goal again and don't get it and give them the 14 to nothing lead. Are we going to make this the 28-point gap? We're not. 14 to 7. Actually, 10 to 14. So definitely there's a chance here. Another field goal. We miss another field goal by the looks of it, which is ridiculous. I don't know why we're not punting it in those situations. We're going for insanely long field goals, but it is 17 apiece. 24 to 17. Once again, we're in the red zone. We do convert 24 to 24. They punt. Are we going to get down the field quickly? Looks like we're going to get into field goal range. Are we going to kick the field goal? We're going to miss the field goal and it goes to overtime. But we do get down in field goal range yet again. Are we going to make it in overtime? 3rd down. We managed to score the touchdown and we win the Super Bowl in overtime again against the Falcons. Their fans must be absolutely livid that they have got through to the Super Bowl again against the Patriots and they end up losing 30 to 24. That's a rookie season Super Bowl for our QB and one of our most influential players in Ross White. What a game that was. It was very back and forth. We could have won it at the end with a field goal in regular time, but they didn't go for it. Fair play for the team. They've done absolutely phenomenally.
Superbowl champion.
Danquin must be absolutely fuming. O'Dwyer, 3 touchdowns, 400 yards. What a game. He wins Super Bowl MVP in his... I know I've said it over and over again, this is rookie year, but what a performance from him. I don't know where we can go from here. I'll do one more season, but I think 3 seasons will be enough for this, considering we've got playoff both times, and this time we have lifted the Super Bowl. They're pretty much all rookies there. Well, not rookies, but people we've drafted. We've got Hightower, a staple for the team, Brown, O'Dwyer, and I'm thinking that's James White at the back. But well done to them. Let's look at the stats of the Super Bowl quickly. Massively outperformed Matt Ryan. We had a great game in there. James White did well with a touchdown in there. 2 touchdowns for Julian Edelman. He's just a clutch player. Marquise Brown with over 100 yards. James White with a receiving touchdown. Gronk with 80 yards. Paris Campbell with 70. A lot of good performances there. A sack from Trey Flowers on the big day. And wouldn't you know it, Ross White with a pick in the Super Bowl. He got a pick in every playoff game, I think. But let's go through to free agency. See if we can sign anyone to bolster our team. And then go through to the draft. But absolutely buzzing with a Super Bowl win there. Didn't expect that we'd get it. But it was definitely a deserved one. So going through free agency, there wasn't too many exciting free agents this time around. Tariq Cohen's still available to pick up, actually. He could be a decent free agent we bring in for a year. But as you can see, McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Lindsley, Newton. Andre Howe is someone we could have looked at, but I didn't think we needed. So it wasn't too many players that we actually needed, considering we don't actually have that many needs. But we did sign a few players. We got Buda Baker, moved him to strong safety, where he is an 86 overall. As you can see, that's a big offer we put in for him, but we have the money since we have a rookie QB. Zay Jones as our number 3 receiver, and then when we're in 3 receiver sets, he'll be our number 2 with Paris Campbell in the slot. Gary and Conley as our number 2 corner. Him and Stephon Gilmore should be fantastic together. And then we got Solomon Thomas in as a rotational piece. Him and Noah Spence should be very good when it comes to that. But looking at the draft, I haven't looked through the draft whatsoever. I don't think we actually have any needs as a team, to be honest. Yeah, I can't think of one area where we actually need a big upgrade or a upgrade, to be honest. Maybe another middle linebacker, so when Dante Hightower does regress, we can get someone in his place. So maybe someone like Cody Fair. I don't think he'll be available when we pick. He's a late first rounder. If he is still there, we could use him. Well, actually, Russell Hoffman looks very good. So hopefully one of these guys is available. I can't imagine they will be. If not, someone like Sanchez Boswell looks very good. Trey Mann looks very good. So it's actually the position we need the most. Looks like there's a lot available. So I'll go through the draft, and as per usual, we'll do a little draft recap at the end. So looking at the draft recap here, this was a quick draft because when we got round to our pick, there was hardly anyone available. Admittedly, I simmed out from round 2 onwards. So there was literally nothing available that we needed or wanted. And as you can see, none of the picks were great. But we got Gabe Garvin, who's going to be a rotational runner for us. And then we got Josh Huff, just because he was available there. He looks like a very good QB. Only 21 years old, with that quick dev. We're not going to use him. But he just looks like a very good QB, and he was the best that was available. And something I have actually forgot to do is look at the draft overall. Overall wise, best overall was the guy who went actually first overall, CJ Barber. Superstar development free safety, 82 overall. He looks fantastic. Running back, Jarek Aubrey. He's probably the guy we could have got. He was between him and the other guy, and he's only normal dev, so I'm pretty happy with our guy because he has star dev. Cody Fair was one of the guys I said we might potentially get. Sanchez Boswell was also on the list, and so was Trey Mann. They all look very good. But as you can see, also Curry Frederick was someone I was looking at, but we don't need a left tackle, so I didn't go for him. But he would have been very good at the end of the first round. No real steals here. Obviously, the reason all our players were gone is because QBs just go so late. As you can see, a 79 overall QB shouldn't be going in the third. Twice, 3 times. The only steal, well, there's a few steals here actually. A few receivers, or receiver, a corner, and 2 right outside backers. Steals for those guys. But beside that, not the best draft in the world. Be unfortunate for us. But let's go through to next year. I think I'm just going to sim through straight to the halfway point. Hopefully we can make playoffs and potentially a Super Bowl yet again. So going through to the mid-season, we are 6-1. And with a team like this, you would pretty much expect that. We are top of the division by quite a high amount. Re-signings. We've got Stephon Gilmore in there. I'll give him a contract just because he's done so well for us. For a $1 million, definitely give him a one-year deal. Definitely take that. Sony Michel, why not? We'll bring him back on a 5-year. Doesn't want too much money. He'll be our starter pretty soon. Give him the deal. Isaiah Wynn has star development. I did not know that. Otherwise, I would have used him as our right tackle. We'll give him a 6-year. Why not? And then Jawan Bentley will let him go. That's someone, Isaiah Wynn, could be a very good guy to trade for there, considering he'll be a backup left tackle. And then Jordan Berry, we'll just let him go at the end of the year. But they're the re-signings we have to do. Upgrade-wise, I can imagine we'll have a few points on some of the guys. Marquise Brown with 1. Garvin with 1. I think... No, actually, I'll leave Sony Michel as the backup for now. I was thinking about starting him, but we'll leave it as it is. Don't muck up a working formula, I think. Marquise Brown will go to a 98. And on defence, Ross White with 2. Stephon Gilmore with 1. But that's pretty much it. And Gary and Conley with 1. Ross White is now absolutely unreal. He has 90 zone. His speed is a bit low, but if his speed was higher, he'd definitely be like one of, if not the best linebackers in the league. Just with that zone coverage, he's so good. But anyway, we'll go through to the end of the year, and hopefully we'll be in the playoffs. I can imagine we will be a 6-1, but with the sim, you do never know. So we simmed through to the playoffs. So we won our last game, and we went 12-4. As you would expect, top of the division, the Jets and the Dolphins 13, 12-1 each. And the Bills 7-9. That is a terrible, terrible division there. Which is one of the reasons why the Patriots always do so well. Looks like Scott O'Dwyer had a very good year yet again. Over 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns to only 6 picks. Josh Huff came in, threw a touchdown on only 7 attempts. So fairly decent from him there, stats-wise. James White, very good year. Gabe Garvin also came in and got a touchdown. James White with 9. Sony Michel with 7 and over 1,000 yards for James White in there. Receivers, 4 guys did very well. Zay Jones did well. 3 touchdowns, nearly 700 yards. Paris Campbell, 850 yards, 11 touchdowns. Great year from him. Marquise Brown over 1,008 and Gronk leading in receptions, or tying lead receptions with Marquise Brown there with 809. He has been great, to be honest. I know normally Gronk doesn't end up doing that well, or he regresses very quickly, but he just looks great there. Like, his stats don't look fantastic there. He's slow, his speed isn't great, but he's just been fantastic for us. Blocking wise, not too many sacks given up across the board, which is good to see. And defensively, our first double-digit sack year for Solomon Thomas, actually. Didn't expect that. And Dante Hightower, Trey Flowers with 7. Can see a few picks in there. 3 from Vernon Hargreaves and Gary and Conley. And I didn't actually see who led the team in tackles. It was our man Ross White with nearly 100 tackles in there. Forced fumbles, he got 2 as well, which is great. 1 from Hightower and Vernon Hargreaves as well. And it looks like we did get a defensive touchdown from Gary and Conley. So very well done from the team. 11th overall offense, and then defense 20th. Well, quick look at the yearly awards. Scott O'Dwyer 4th on the MVP list. Zeke winning it again. Coach of the year, we're 5th. I would expect us to be a little bit higher. 2nd again, behind Andrew Luck on the 6, 7 and 3. That is a bizarre record. I don't think you're ever going to see a record. It just looks absolutely bizarre. Andrew Luck 6, 7 and 3 in there. Defensive player of the year, we do have Dante Hightower on the list, and Mac Wilson comes in as defensive player of the year, but Dante Hightower is in there, as is Ross White. Offensive rookie of the year, Gabe Garvin on about 5 carries got in there, and then defensive player of the year, I don't think we'll have anyone, we won't. Best QB, Scott O'Dwyer winning that. Running back, James White in at number 4. Receiver, Paris Campbell at 7. And Marquise Brown below him. 2 guys on the offensive line, Mason Tooney, David Andrews and Trent Brown. So pretty much our whole O-line gets on there. Solomon Thomas, our first guy ever on the defensive line defensive line of the year list. Dante Hightower in the best linebacker and best DB. Gary and Conley and Vernon Hargraves in there. And then best kicker, we're number 10. So on pretty much every award list, I think there. I can imagine we'll have a fair few upgrades. Haven't bothered upgrading the coach to get that extra bit of XP in there. 5 more upgrade points for O'Dwyer in there. And then on defense, 2 for Ross White and 1 for everyone else. So we'll upgrade the guys. We'll just do a quick little upgrade here and then see what the overall for the team is. We'll jump into next week. Hopefully we can get another Super Bowl berth. If we can, this will be one of the most successful rebuilds I've ever done. And Scott O'Dwyer up to Superstar Dev is definitely a reason for that. He's been a Pro Bowl both year, QB of the year both years as well, I think. He looks absolutely ridiculous as a player. The accuracy is unbelievable, short and medium. Throw under pressure and break sack good. Throw on the run. He's the 3rd best QB in the league already after only 2 years. Let's go to next week. Go past the wildcard berth because we're not in there. Go against the Titans. If this is anything like the normal Titans in the playoffs, they should be... Well, they aren't a one and done because they got through the wildcard, but we should beat them. We're an 89 to their 85. Let's jump into the game. So going against the Titans, they do have a very good team. So before the game, obviously, they compared teams. They do have a very good team, and showing that there, they go up 7-0. I think we went for the field goal, a really long field goal again, and it ends up biting us in the arse, and we go down 14-7. We do pull it back a little bit, coming up to the end of the second quarter. Hopefully we can get some points on the board. We can get the field goal, and we do 14-10. It's going to be another close game by the looks of it, and it's 17-10. We do force a turnover, which is good turnover on downs. 3rd down here, making it a 17-17 game. End of the 3rd quarter. We're not going to get it into the end zone. We're going to make it 17-20. Looks like the Titans are going to get in. I mean, Dalvin Cook, we did want in free agency. He ended up going to the Titans over us. Looks like that might have been a mistake on his part. 3rd down here. We're going to go for the field goal. And we're not going to go for the field goal, actually. We just ended up winning. 26-24. Not sure what happened there, but once again, it's a very, very close game. We don't make these games easy. Let's have a quick look at the stats, see how the team did. Scott O'Dwyer, 3 touchdowns. Looks like he had a great game. No picks. He had a phenomenal game. I've never had a QB this good in Sim. Christian McCaffrey. They got Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook in free agency. That is bizarre. But James White, Marquise Brown, 3 touchdowns. What a game from him. Looks like we gave up a fair few sacks and got none ourselves. The Titans, Rashawn Gary is unbelievable. He's up to a 99 overall. And then picks-wise, we didn't get any as well. So our offense, looks like our offense entirely won that game. Marcus Mariota underperformed as per usual. And we'll go through to next week of our final year with the Patriots. I think that's every year we've at least got through to the AFC conference. Which is, I mean, that's unbelievable. To be fair, if any team can do it, it is the Patriots. But I'm guessing we'll be against the Chargers this time. And it's actually the Browns. I mean, that's not too unexpected, to be honest. I'm guessing it's been between the Chargers and the Browns each year we've been in it. But they're 12-4. Our team just looks phenomenal. We're a 97 offense without doing too many trades. That's just absolutely mad. 89 to their 85. Let's jump into the game. Hopefully we can beat a very good sim team in the Browns. So going into the game against the Browns, it's going to be a tough one. And looks like we turned the ball over instantly, giving them the 3-0 lead. Make that a 6-0 lead. So a touchdown will still give us the lead here. Hopefully we can get one. Getting in the red zone, we do get one, giving us the 7-6 lead. But we can't stop them that much on defense. For some reason it said we're going to go for the field goal there. No idea why it said that. 13-7. We need the touchdown. We don't get it. Can we make something happen early in the third? We can't. It's 16-10. It is a very, very defensive, stalwart game, this one. Hopefully we can get something in. We can't. We went for the field goal and missed by the looks of it. And that gives the Browns the 31-10 lead. The game is just, I mean, it's just gone out of our reach almost instantly. Unless we got the field very quickly here. We make it 31-24. So if we can get a stop, there is still a chance. And there isn't a chance. We turn the ball over. that makes it game over, and we're out in the AFC conference. Unfortunately there, we did make a good chance at a comeback, but unfortunately, I guess when we threw a pick or fumbled the ball there, very unfortunate for us. That'll be the end of the rebuild though, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I did have quite a lot of fun making this one actually, considering we were winning pretty much all the time. But if you have enjoyed it, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon for hopefully another rebuild, or if you check out my Bengals realistic rebuild career mode video.